How's it going today, guys? Small little project today. We're doing an O2 simulator, which if you don't know what an O2 simulator is, on my truck I don't have cats, so when the O2 sensor reads, it's looking for the signal after the cat. O2 simulators are illegal, so it's for off-road use only. But yeah, I'll show you the exhaust here. Comes down, I welded where the collector is, comes back. I've got a coupler, whatever you want to call this in here. Everyone calls it something different. That way I can take it apart still. Here's my muffler, and then it goes back to the tailpipe. So I've already cut a hole in my exhaust here where the sensor's gonna go in, and then to put the sensor in, you're gonna have to weld a bung in, which just that just threads on here. That way you can screw your sensor into your exhaust. I'm gonna make the simulator. I'm gonna be using these two things here. I'll link them, the part numbers and everything, in the description. But this is a 4.7 microfarad capacitor and a 1 ohm quarter watt resistor. You're gonna need one of these and one, maybe two of these, and I'm gonna solder it in here in line with this. I'll show you guys how I do that. First I'm gonna weld this in, that way that's out of the way and it can cool down. Alright guys, so it's really hard to explain what I'm trying to do here, but you're gonna take the gray and black wire and you're gonna cut that. And then you're gonna take your capacitor and you're gonna solder that in between the gray and black wire on the connector side with the black wire from the sensor side, so it'll look something like that right now. Then what you're gonna do is take your resistor and you're going to solder that in between this gray wire and this gray wire, and that'll be your simulator right there. It's a little bit hard to explain. I don't know if you guys can see any of this, but it's just cutting two wires, soldering two things in. Alright, so I got everything soldered together. Resistor in between gray and black connector side, plus the black from the sensor side. Then the resistor between the two grays, including the capacitor. So there's three different wires technically going to this gray on the connector side. So now you're just going to want to tape everything so nothing's touching, and then tape it all. It'd probably be better to use shrink tube, but this is really messy, so I really don't know how I would have got shrink tube on there. So I'm just going to use some electrical tapes to try and seal it up the best I can, and test it out, plug it back in, take it for a drive for a little bit, turn the engine off a few times, restart it, drive it some more. Hopefully my light doesn't come back on. Here's my very ugly but finished simulator. Now, I didn't come up with this myself. I learned how to make this on a forum I read online. So the forums aren't always correct. I mean, it's just people writing stuff. This guy said he tried it, it worked. I've also tried a lot of people make videos on using these spark plug defoulers. You use two of these, you drill this one out 1/2 inch, and then you leave the other one small hole, screw that on the end of your O2 sensor and screw that back in to your exhaust, and with the space in there it's supposed to let the O2 simulator kind of, I don't know, like the way it reads, it's gonna pick up a better signal, that trick it into getting the right signal. But that didn't work for me at all. It worked for a day or two, and then it stopped working right after that. So this, I'm hoping, is a permanent fix. Alright, sensor's in. Time to go take it for a drive. Alright, so I'm driving the truck now. Really don't know how long I need to drive it because I cleared my engine light, and when you do that, it only takes, a few hundred, not a few hundred, but it takes a while for all them sensors to go back to the computer and tell them that, you know, they're working, whatever. So I've got this ultra gauge here, and it'll tell me pending trouble codes. So I'm just gonna leave that screen up. It keeps refreshing itself, so it'll let me know if anything's pending. You know, before I had it, there was a pending code for O2 heater malfunction, and I just cleared that before I left. So, and then plus all the other codes that go along with the O2 sensor not being there, because I didn't even have one in there. My engine light's just been on without an O2 sensor for a while. So I'm gonna keep driving it. Hopefully no codes pop up. I'll see them before they pop up on here, because it'll let me know that it's pending. So yeah, we'll just keep driving. Alright, well that did not work at all. So driving for about 5 minutes, and then it popped up with a pending code, and then now I have a trouble code. Engine lights on. PO141, which is the O2 heater malfunction. So other than that, before I had like 3-4 codes, so it thinks that the O2 sensor's working properly other than the heater. I don't know what's up with that. I'm gonna have to try and figure that out. Maybe I can find something else on the forum that'll tell me about that. I can try and rig something else up to work, but as of now, yeah, it did not work. Lights back on. Bugs the crap out of me. But still don't want to put the cats back on. Alright guys, I guess this is the end of the video already. It's a pretty short video. Didn't work, but like I said, you can't really trust everything you read on the forums. It's just guys and whatever they write, you know. They could just write something completely wrong, you can believe it. Yeah, apparently that's what I did. But I don't know, I mean, I guess it kind of worked. I've only got 1 code now. Before I had like 4 codes, the O2 sensor. I've been driving it a little bit. So either way, it's going into storage probably for the rest of winter. It needs a front end bed. I gotta finish the lift, finish doing it the right way, since I did it the cheap way and now the front end's gone already. Control arms are just completely riding on the frame, and tires squeal around every turn. So yeah, it's going into storage for the winter. So I can order some parts, work on that, maybe some videos on this. I didn't show this in a video. There, 2002 F-150. I'll show it once I get to the storage unit. Whiskey's growing up, huh? Getting bigger. And then another thing I didn't show was the Stinger. That was a fun project. I wanted to do that since I had my Jeep, but finally just decided to do it out here. Kind of a lot going on. I haven't been making videos nearly as much as I want to. Me and Brittany are looking for a house. I'm trying to move out, trying to get a garage so I can do more projects in my own garage. I have all my tools in one place, so I don't have to go to a storage unit all the time. I could have the truck with me, work on that. Alright, I'll see you guys